Academy has for Clutch Gaming. Evelyn and Zoe already on the ban list. I approve so far. Let's see what else they have.
Yeah, Moon's got a scary Evelyn, despite some of those recent nerfs that came in. Do not give that champion over to him, especially, as we were kind of saying, Moon seems to be the main win condition for this team.
A lot more Galio bans or Galio play we see coming out. The Corki as well. The Camille has also been seeing a bit more play in that top lane in every region.
Yeah, Camille's definitely one of the premier carry threats in the top lane. Also has a lot of synergy. Like you said, the Galio pick is one it can work with very well. And we saw a ton of that in Academy. Didn't quite translate as much to the LCS as I thought it would. It was still seeing a good amount of play up there, but it was almost 100% pick ban in the Academy last week.
The gangplank from Clutch, and the final one waiting now. 10 seconds left as they discuss what could happen if TSM Academy picks X. Will 1-2 these, and it's going to be Rise to actually keep a Blaze olive off of that. Keep that map pressure down as well. We'll see what Brandini selects and who actually takes priority here. Will it be Raleigh in the AD carry position that they kind of continue to prioritize?
You would expect so. No AD carry bans at all right now. So you have things like the Kog'Maw, like the Kalista. Mr. Raleigh can grab that right now if they want to make sure he's on that kind of late game pick. Or it'll be the Galio. And so if the trend continues from what we saw last week, that means Clutch Gaming have to take Jarvan here because that's what Academy teams do once the other team takes Galio.
If you don't, you're definitely getting a big Bash Brothers dive team that's very hard to deal with. Even in the case that Grit could get Sejuani once again, as we saw him playing on yesterday. Max Trobo maybe deciding the Gnar, very favorite pick towards the top side of the map right now in the current meta. And the Azir mid lane, also a very big favorite.
All right, so it looks like they are risking the Jarvan pick, but they grab two other great laners themselves. Azir getting through, I can understand they want to grab that one up there. There's the Galio on the other side, so it's probably going to be safe, but I guess they decided they want to hide the jungle pick instead. And I can understand if Moon is your big win condition, yes, giving the Jarvan Galio combinations over scary, but you want to make sure that you're picking the best champion for Moon. So let him see a little bit more of TSM's draft before he locks it in.
Very true. That does help him out since he's been the controller of games for Clutch. Alistar, a bit of protection here, even with the Tom Kench on the board. They take that and the Kog'Maw, as it's now back to Clutch Academy. Quite quick.
Yep. Kog'Maw, like we were saying, almost considering it a first pick. They decided to go with Galio, but it's clearly Mr. Rale's preferred pick thus far in Academy, and he performs on it very well.
Much better than the Sivir.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch him on it more than the Sivir. His Sivir's still good, but Raleig's, let the guy carry it.
Yeah, I mean, would I want to see like just an AoE, press R, and run fast, or do I want to see him sniping people with skill shot?
There you go.
It's kind of obvious.
Absolutely. I guess you could say that for anybody. Does he get through? That is locked in. It is actually not, because it's, no, it is. That's second ban phase they're going through. So Nunu is locked in. We get a little distance from the monitors and get myself situated.
Yeah, got to get used to the lean in. What is that? But yeah, Nunu Azir is kind of the premier combo people were concerned about when they saw the Nunu buffs come in with 8.2. He has the crazy attack speed. Now it gives AP as well. Who uses those two the best in the mid lane? Azir, who's already strong anyway, so people were very concerned about this combination. Didn't see it a ton. A lot of Nunu bans, a lot of Azir bans, so it was hard to see them line up. But here you have it, and we're going to have to see if Moon can run around the jungle and make TSM Academy's life hell.
Now they got to do amazing things with it, right? You actually got it for once. Are you going to be able to have your cake and eat it too? Ezreal, Jace, there's that Jarvan as you just mentioned, and a final one from TSM Academy saying, what can we take out of that bot lane? Is it going to be a support? Do we hit the AD carry? There's so many. What do we do? They already hit one AD carry.
Oh, if they keep that up, Tristana ban, they want to make sure that there's not really a late game carry to match the Kog'Maw right away. Vayne.
Oh, so you would say
is
or Twitch, AETF?
Twitch is a champion a lot of people think is kind of primed to take over the AD carry position if nerfs come into things like the Tristana and Kog'Maw. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. Otherwise, you would say, well, Kalista's still up, and then you kind of go away from the late game game plan. And you would have, with this pick, fantastic objective control. Nunu, Kalista, Azir is this kind of neutral objective buff-taking monster team comp.
Yeah, you'd definitely work around a lot of things there. Then you have a Gnar bar you'd have to worry about on TSM Academy side. So a few things to toy with as we get to the objective phase for Clutch Gaming. Quite a nice composition, and TSM Academy is looking to put more power under their belts here, and they do lock in the Rengar for Greg, so he's going to be looking to slice somebody out of the game right quick, or at least distract enough so they can't protect Eclipse here.
Oh boy, if they go with this Maokai pick, they are basically a all melee team comp with a Kog'Maw to blow people up from the backside.
And not a whole lot of protection for that Kog'Maw. A lot of peel, but not super protection.
Yeah, I mean, the Galio can always ult backwards if needed, but you expect the ideal team fight for TSM Academy to be Rengar goes flying in, he's full AD, he tries to blow somebody up, and then the Galio ult comes in to protect him. But that's really scary into Clutch Gaming's comp because they do have that Nunu, they have Azir, they have a ton of zone control to try and keep the Kalista alive. And now with the Tahm Kench as well, if you try and go in there and kill her or Azir, they can quickly get eaten up by Tahm Kench.
All right, so what do you, just off the bat, usually I'd say this composition is this, but what are you taking from these compositions? Clutch Academy first.
It's a pretty early game objective focused team comp where Nunu's going to try and go into jungle, hold the Rengar down, stop him from getting 6 and getting that power spike, and then hopefully you can cheese out some dragons with your stronger bot side, and then eventually, ideally you can get a Baron really early in the first 25 minutes of the game. On the side of TSM, they do have a lot of playmaking at 6. Galio and Rengar is no joke when they get their ultimates.
As well, how does Kog'Maw do in the bot lane? The beginning of the year, or I'd say the season, Shady was saying we're TSM, we're going to beat everybody. We can beat everybody. We are TSM. Let's see if they can start putting that play where their mouth is, if you will.
Yeah, it looked like they were turning things around last week before they suffered a loss to CLG Academy.
Yep.
A big surprise, given that how good they had looked overall last week. So they need to bounce back here, get a win to avoid going 0-2 this week.
All right, let's see where the starts begin for everybody. Stopwatches, some minion dematerializers, if you will. And it looks pretty orthodox around the board. One for Shady, though.
30 seconds until
Shady has one. Galio the same way. Interesting, Nunu taking the control ward.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it doesn't need much to stay in with his Q, so instead of getting extra pots, you get the control ward. He goes for a lot of invades, so if you can find a nice path into the enemy jungle early on, you can drop that deep. It'll stay up for the entire game until they clear it at least. So if you can find one of those kind of deep rushes, the ones behind red buff or up on the side near blue, behind the turrets, you can get a lot of vision for very cheap. But it doesn't look like we're going to have any fun level 1.
No.
Sadly.
Quiet on the home front to start things.
Maybe
oh, no!
Too soon.
Yes! A glad thing. Or it's a good thing you said something.
Yeah, they wouldn't have done it.
It wouldn't have happened. So it looks like Vulcan's going to be the first here.
Oh, the control ward.
Acquire a taste in a dank control ward. It is. Start things off. Figured it might be some ploy since you don't have too many early now with new sight zones and stuff, but it's just to get a nice steal on. And that's kind of what you do with Nunu, right? They didn't even really want to fight there. Maybe one would have happened, but to be a nuisance on Nunu is to do what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely great start for Moon there. He's going to keep trying to do this kind of stuff, just make everyone very sad.
Hello.
Going red to red and also kind of pushing a Blaze Olive back. Very good to kind of focus on getting his buffs out. You can do the really, really annoying Nunu strat where you just keep running into their jungle and try and contest literally everything. Yeah. Maybe he could have tried to contest those Raptors too. That is a tough camp to start for Grig, so maybe he could have pushed them off there too, but he wants to get a little bit of focus on himself down too.
Looks like he's going to head down towards his Raptors. Easy bite, get himself healed, and make his way back towards the bottom side. Making sure Eclipse and Vulcan are actually there to help say, is there anybody here? You're safe, take your own blue. He's going to be on his side of the map. Actually a great ward by Sun as well, so they'll be able to track where Grig is going in just a few seconds.
Yeah, that's that pink ward that they used in the level 1 invade that they never cleared out after they took the red buff, so it's still getting value. That's why it's so powerful. They know Grig's down on this side. Top lane can go and pressure that Maokai as much as he wants to.
So much damage. Grig knows he's safe though. Bot lane's pushed up. Raleigh would be able to pull back if they needed any help. Level 2 here wasn't really won by either of the bot lanes. 18 to 14 in CS, but that is cleaned up by Raleigh as they get up to their turret, or should be. Blue still up, and there's that Sun ward that we were just talking about. Next time we see Grig top, there may be actually a bit of play here. Max Trouble has the lane pushed up.
And it's interesting, the Maokai taking the Ignite as Moon does what Nunu does. Start off a dragon pre-4 minutes.
Oh, nice. Get that health back with the smite. Help from the bot lane because they were pushed in. So seems like early game is going the way it should be, but I feel like TSM almost, you expect this when there's a Nunu on the other side, right? They haven't made any mistakes themselves either. Yeah,
Nunu Kalista, like we said, will have a lot of bot control. They want to force these neutral objectives. That's exactly what they're doing thus far. So good execution on their early game plan. TSM just need to focus, or yeah, TSM, excuse me, need to focus on farming up, getting their 6s, and then punishing one of the side lanes if possible.
Fly to a lane. Watch Blaze Olive take off. Already teleport back for him. As mentioned, Brandini's hanging on to that Ignite with his Unsealed Spellbook on the top side, so he'll be able to switch, swap that out at will.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Gnar versus Maokai is a very interesting lane matchup for me just because it has swayed back and forth a fair amount over the years. For a while, it was completely in our favor. Then people said if you play the Maokai side right, you can kind of win the matchup. Nowadays, it feels pretty neutral. I have not seen the Maokai start Ignite before, I'm pretty sure, so maybe there's some new kill threat here because you often see Aftershock or something.
Right. Hasn't gotten too much assistance, but I guess Moon's not going to be up there to help Max Trobo, so they probably won't be up to help Brandini too much and get those kills. Now onto his blue, which was actually left up quite a long time. Greg will start to clean that up for himself just at about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was surprising to see him kind of go the way that he did with that path. Was maybe hoping to throw Clutch Gaming off because he figured another invade was coming, especially if he was aware that Sun had, left lane for quite a while, roamed to the top side. He expected a Nunu to invade him there, so he wanted to go for the safer clear. So I kind of liked the decision. Turned out not to matter because Moon just did his own thing, but it was very clever, I think, by Grig.
It's all about the first move. Who can capitalize here? Slight back. Interesting little twisted advance. A little late on the turret shot, but still keeps Max Trobo's timing up and gets him to Gnar out. So that helps him just a little bit. And worry about that, doesn't have to worry about that pressure in lane. And his teleport comes out. So he's going to start stacking a little bit for himself. They might actually try to get something onto Max Trobo. As I say, it's been quiet in the top lane. Be interesting to see. Jungle item fixed for Moon as he is back out farming his face off.
Doing what Nunu does, eating things in the jungle.
Just wait until he starts laughing.
Luckily, not the Nunu bot skin. Well, I don't know. Depends.
Okay.
Lucky for who.
Yeah.
I think viewers enjoy it.
All right, so he has had his stopwatch ready. Pushes down, knows red will be up in just a little bit, so they look to get a bit of mid control. Maybe get something out of a Blaze Olive. Good ward though.
Yeah, but it looks like they're roaming up the top side as a group right now, trying to get some vision control down. And like you said, that red buff spawning soon, so he's got to skedaddle back down there to get in range to contest that red if that's what they want to do. But Nunu with Cloud Drake, why not? Just run right through mid lane. Who cares if they see it coming? Can they stop it is the problem with Nunu.
They're probably not, even if there is a fight. He takes the fight separately and then eats up the red buff along with a smite. You get a gigantic burst of health. Almost able to get it, but still uses a pink. And now Grig has to consider the lane's push to the bot side. Do I have enough? Here comes a rotation from Eclipse and Vulcan already to get a ward in there and know if they can get there safely. Moon will back off though.
They give up on that red buff invade. TSM Academy successfully defend.
I guess you're getting a Blaze Olive at level 6-7 now, so that could have actually turned out really bad.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted to just go back and deal with their lanes.
Yeah.
It is scary to fight in the jungle there. You do have pretty good zone control with a level 6 Azir, but a level 6 Galio is no joke either. So I can understand saying, all right, we don't want that Galio ultimate on top of us.
Just about a 400 gold lead now for TSM Academy. Little love taps between Eclipse and Raleigh go back and forth. 66 to 67, you can see pretty even across the board. Only real big separation is the junglers. And they will be quite even, I think, here to start off the game since we haven't seen too much action. We'll see if Brandini, though, can start to catapult himself up a little bit more here with what may happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, Grig walked past a ward, so that gank's not going to get anything for him. And Grig, like you said, behind now, but we'll catch up as Rengar generally starts to become a faster farmer. It goes back around, going for the old loop-de-loop.
It's like I could trick him.
Not if you keep running past the same ward.
Not going to happen. That ward was actually the one that Moon ran up in play, so he's getting a big return on investment for Max Trobo there before he went back down towards the bottom side to harass with those wards. 3 pink wards to the bot side here for Clutch Gaming Academy. It looks like they know where their focus wants to be, either protecting Eclipse or just keeping that lane nice and strong.
Yeah, absolutely. So at this point, Grig needs to start finding plays, getting advantages, because otherwise you're going to be concerned that Clutch is just going to keep grinding out these objectives.
Right. And
Next
who do you, besides Azir, I mean, it would be Kalista, but she gets eaten by Vulcan. Who do you kill as Greg once you can possibly kill someone?
It is hard. If you can time it nicely with Mininar, you can pretty easily pop him.
True.
So maybe you look topside as Greg has made his 3rd pass at a gank. And the 3rd time he's been spotted.
Unlucky. Good placement by Max Strobo. Gets a little love on Brandini. Brandini's like, this is what I want. He's engaging. He just knows exactly what's going on is what's happening.
And because he's on a ward, yeah, Moon's coming up too to try and counter this one out.
Does he keep going? Meganar's about to go down, so he's actually going to bring back the slow from the boomerang. Nature's Grass comes out. It's the hug from Absolute Zero and the trees. And there comes a Blaze Olive. Taunt in, flash off. That's going to be Moon going down first. Do they have enough for Max Strobo? And the mana and HP bars are not there. He might have a bit of a chase. Sun's a little late, and he's gone through the backside of the ward because he didn't want to meet it 3v1.
Good play there by TSM Academy. I'm surprised Clutch wanted to go take that on head on because they could have tried to wait for the dive to come in. You have the Nunu sitting in the brush waiting. Instead, they run out into the lane to take that fight. And no surprise, the Galio was able to collapse first. So Moon is spotted relatively early on, so both teams completely aware of this situation. Brandini kind of baiting. Moon trying to kind of bait as well, but then he gets chain CC'd up here, and he's not under his turret, so no surprise they lose that. Ooh, that's interesting to note. In the river, Sun was actually matching the roam, but mistimed the ultimate to try and knock Galio out of the jump. So very close.
Interesting.
Could not actually get down there in time. First blood goes over, but this is going back to what Clutch Gaming's game plan should be. Focus more on this bot side and get these objectives.
Quick hits, they got vision behind and all around from these pink wards that have just been continuously giving them vision. Now they pick up another dragon for themselves, Mountain and a Cloud, as that also helps Moon speed around the map. They'll focus on the bottom, back to the top, but it looks like they may actually want to get this dive on Max Strobo. No, it's a Rift Terror.
A good answer though. You hear the objective call go down on one side, go to the other and try and grab that objective away for yourself as well. You want to try and keep this away from Nunu. Ooh, hold on.
Hello. Flash right in, bopped against the wall for a little time hold, and then the pulverize. I like it. Eclipse just trying to get out of this. A little bit more damage and minion golds, but cannot. He goes down. That'll be the first death for that bot lane, which they've been trying to attack and have actually been super safe this whole time. The Rift Herald gets grabbed.
Greedy recall kind of where he's sitting up in lane, his support's already back, he's trying to finish his, and there was a ward in that brush. They saw him going for it. A good flash engage by Shady. Finds him another kill, this time on the bot side. Overall, not a bad start for TSM Academy. They're going to need to keep this up, though, because another Mountain Dragon will be the 3rd. That'll give double Mountain to Clutch if they grab that. And then you're worried about...
never getting an objective.
Then you're worried about Nunu, Azir, Kalista, double Mountain, Baron at 20 minutes. But TSM's doing a good job so far of kind of finding these kills on both sides of the map.
Already getting Raleigh's a little built up here. Brandini's been having a good control lane against Max Strobo in the top, and again, they offer him a little bit of love. Bot lane's not even down yet, but they're still trying to switch things up and kind of throw Clutch Gaming off on their back heel there.
I do like this decision by TSM Academy. Sitting in lanes is not great for you. If you open the map up, hopefully Greg and the Blaze Olive can find more openings because there's just less turrets available to hide under. So they flip their bot lane up to the top side. They don't want to just be sitting down there against Kalista. And so they're using this to kind of snowball and speed the game up.
That's interesting. They know they can't match the turret at all and don't have a big enough wave, so they actually walk towards mid lane to try to take down a Blaze Olive. Abyssal Voyage behind the turret, and it's a 4-man party as it's a stopwatch for a Blaze Olive, but finally goes down. That is determination.
Yeah, bring the entire team to take down the Sentinel in the mid lane. They drop him. Galio, he had an interesting play there where he can't E towards his turret because he's going to bump into somebody, so he tried to E backwards, but take another look at this. Just a nice Azir sec to start things off, so Blaze Olive is further away from his turret. Tom Kent supporting people in as well. Doesn't have his flash up. Can't E to do his turret, so it might look funny initially because it's like, oh, he E'd backwards and went towards the enemy team, but if he angles it the other way, the pullback on the initial startup of that move would have put him behind anyone anyway, so nothing you could really do there. Good play by Clutch Gaming.
Nice little move as well by Eclipse to stay out of that initial taunt, keep delivering damage. Nice little things all around. They know they needed to make a play with top going down. TSM seems to be working the structures on the map while Clutch Gaming is working the objectives and the champions. Well, I guess he's not in the champions. TSM still has 2 kills to their own. Moon still cleaning up now as he makes his way towards blue buff. Should be transferred over to Sun if he just makes it back to lane.
And we're going to get kind of back to standard lanes here. A little surprising that Clutch Gaming, after getting that pick off in the mid lane, they just go back down. They don't want to get into a turret trading situation, but that leaves Gnar in this very exposed situation on the top side. You see how he feels completely unsafe in the top lane, runs all the way back to his turret, wants to get vision of people. He's scared. It's tough to be in this position as a top laner. This is the old 2v1 situation you used to get into, where turrets would drop early on, and then you're left in these long lanes with a lot of people having initiation tools to pick you off.
The only thing that helps him right now is that Greg did show on the bot side and next to a ward, so he has a bit of safety to play with, but that dissipates very fast as Greg disappears in vision. Clips 152. Raleigh's 141 with that late game Cogmog. Definitely zero you out without having to rend. Max Trovo 132 to Brandini's 126 as they still can provide what they need for each other's team when the time comes. Here's Moon again, trying to be a nuisance.
And I like this play by Clutch Gaming. They're expecting TSM Academy to attack the top side with the Gnar. So Moon is posturing down the bot side to get the mirror play with the Azir and get a dive off on this turret. Come with me. The only problem is they do have a Galio to try and cover this one out.
Nice ward place. Raleigh feels like they can hold it, but also, like you said, a Blaze Olive starting to creep down. Turret's a little too low. They're going to have to back off of that one. Now they tie those up on either side of the map, so we'll start to get a few of these objective fights that may be controllable. If TSM can get that pick from Rengar, we might be able to see Greg do some work now.
Yeah, they also have the teleport advantage, so no way for TSM Academy to cover that one out. They lose their first turret of the game, tied up there. They still have a small kill favor, but Clutch Gaming have the Dragons.
So what's next for TSM Academy? Seeing the map open up, have a little bit of ward coverage towards the top side. Do you actually focus Brandini or just let him and Max Trovo farm that?
I mean, the kills that you'll pick up on Max Trovo are nice, but they're probably not going to snowball the game too hard.
Right.
If your Rengar gets big at this point, great. It's 60 minutes in, a little late to be called a snowballing Rengar. The kills, if they go with the Galio, is fine. If they go to Maokai, it doesn't really do much. So the person you're trying to get fed here, of course, is the Kog'Maw, but there's excellent vision control down the bot side for Clutch Gaming. Dragon's coming up now, so if they don't take this team fight, they're going to start having that risk of that bot lane snowball.
So much vision still towards the bot side. 3 pinks already. The teleport coming in from the backside. Brandini's looking to make a play onto Vulcan first, maybe right past him to Eclipse. The flash is there from Shady. Almost deja vu in the last spot that we saw Eclipse getting taken down. Absolute Zero stops a bunch of the team, but not enough. Raleigh's starting to find his targets from the backside. A Blaze just missing his engage. The brush is giving Greg away, and Moon's locket is down, and there's the sweep into the wall. Brandini and Shady very low as Greg looking to get himself to safety. Raleigh from the outside cannot find the damage he needs, and now they're back on to the team of TSM Academy as they begin to fall. Brandini is down. A Blaze Olive turns around to take down Eclipse, but he will get that himself as he gets turned down as well. 5-3 after a huge scrap in the bot lane.
That was a crazy fight overall. TSM, I think it's the right decision to go for that brute force. They needed to do it. You don't want to risk losing another Mountain Dragon to this objective-focused team. And the enemy was kind of exposed in the bot lane with that flank war behind them. It was just that they misplayed the fight a little bit early on. Tom Tench was able to constantly save members. They didn't blow anybody up fast enough. So you'll see it here. Maokai comes in. Shady goes for the flash pull. But they get the W just in time. This is stalling out. It gives time for Gnar to get in. They try to blow Gnar before it goes Mega. Not able to do that. So now there's multiple members having survived the initial engage. And that's very good for a Kalista and Azir getting this kind of prolonged team fight. Lots of stopwatches going off. Big Gnar by Max Trovo. Now they're trying to kite out, but that's very difficult to do against a Kalista. Going to start chasing down. And Mr. Ralles might be able to go and find 1 or 2 kills here, but it's really difficult for him to walk up as they're getting pinned on the wall. You see just how low Vulcan is, how low Max Trovo is, everyone. So low, but they're not quite able to find any kills. And I really do think that was the right call by TSM Academy, but just not quite able to find one of those pickoffs early enough in the fight. When you have a Rengar, Galio, Kog'Maw, you want to blow somebody up right away.
Whoa. Blaze Olive might find that result right now. Nature's Grass coming across the wall. Just going to miss the team as Greg doesn't find a mark either. And TSM is still very hungry, like you said, trying to force a few fights here and there, take down some priority targets, or at least get Sun to that position. That creates map pressure as well. Max Trobo doing work in the bot lane. 0-0-3 for him after a pretty quiet top lane start.
Yep, you saw he did a good job absorbing all that pressure. Grig was hovering around top lane the whole time. There was one skirmish up there, but that was it. And I like that TSM Academy is continuing to play aggressive. Even though they just lost a fight, just lost the dragon, doesn't stop them from trying to engage in the mid lane. Just couldn't quite land that Maokai ult on anyone.
Tell you what, couldn't see Maokai or Alistar. Both are in slumber party suits. It's ridiculous. It's like one got bumped. That's the Malistar or the Alkai star. But Blaze Olive, he just got bopped in mid lane and is going to have to use the ultimate to get back to safety in that position. He didn't die before, but he did get pushed out pretty hard. The team came to help. But that's been TSM's Nature's Grasp we just saw in defense. His heroic entrance in defense there. Or grand entrance, I should say. So we will have to see if they can continue to hold their ults for the fights they need.
Yeah, it's nice that Clutch Gaming is able to force these kind of proactive tools out reactively because they shove them out of the top side. They grab that turret. Mid lane's also super, super low. And Sun is basically 2v1ing as he gets that turret as well, as Kog'Maw was in the mid lane. So this is quickly snowballing in favor of Clutch Gaming Academy. They're going to be able to go back, reset with all that global gold they just got. And like we said, due to how their comp works, Baron is on the table right now. There's no reason they can't brute force that one down right away.
And you can see exactly when you say that the vision has shifted from bot towards top side all around TSM Academy's blue area is now getting taken back over. Now Malire, see?
Yeah, but you understand, both teams, they understand the importance of it, really.
Right,
They say,
exactly.
Clutch Gaming's got too much vision up there. They can brute force the Baron, so we got to get a ton of vision to make sure they can't do it. And so
Well, that's what you fight over at this point in the game. They know that Baron is so interesting for Clutch Gaming. You probably will be fighting over a ward, to be honest. Still pushing down mid lane a bit, or forward wards from Moon.
before they cleared these out, I tried to quickly count. I think it was something like 15 wards in the top side of the map.
So much work.
No surprise, there's a fight around them.
They're going to fight over wards? No. Brandine in the top. Can he get the crowd control in? There's the heroic entrance from a Blaze Olive. We get a little damage onto some, but Brandini's in a bad spot. Flash over now. A lot being used just to get into the fight. Will they have to get out and kite it? No, the damage is still there from TSM Academy, and Brandine lives with a sliver of health. One last shot coming in from Raleigh as he finds Vulcan in the mid lane. You can see Eclipse down as well from the fight, and that is big. Three kills, yeah, coming in for TSM.
Seems like Max Trobo's teleport was not quite off cooldown yet. That is one of the advantages of having that unsealed spellbook. You're able to get that cooldown back faster so they can brute force the fight around all those wards. Max Trobo could not join in. Clutch Gaming did not have a front line really set up, so it was very easy for Grig to hop onto Eclipse, start chunking him out, and then finally find their way onto Sun as well. Now they're just on zoning duty on this Nunu to make sure they can't get in range of this Baron steal.
Finally got the stun in. Flash is there for Moon. Smite is there for Moon. He's over the wall. Oh, he missed her early. Smite consume. And that's going to be Grig coming up with it. Raleigh's as well. Able to help on that one as they take down Moon. And what a hit. So big in general for TSM to be able to deny this Clutch Gaming squad that they have made with these champions Baron overall. But that steal as well to be thwarted. Perfect play.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all starts with this fight. Brandini up on the backside, making sure they don't have anywhere to run. Vulcan's getting chunked out, and you see that it's just a completely odd man fight. Moon and Sun are trying to provide an escape path for Eclipse, but that just puts them in the line of fire as well. Grig being able to use these brushes to keep jumping on top of people. And then once both carries are down, there's really not a threat in terms of denying the Baron, or meaning they can't start it, but they do have to worry about the Nunu. And he does get in range. I think what ended up happening, did his consume go off or did it get interrupted?
I think it got interrupted.
Right.
Because at the end, he started to rear back like he was going to.
Yeah,
and I don't think it went through.
I heard the sound effect, but I don't think I saw the health bar drop. I saw the Smite drop the health bar. I think he wanted the Smite consume and couldn't get it. I think it was actually a Shady headbutt that might have knocked him out of the
Kind of
consume.
paused him as he was flying through the air for the consume.
Yeah, I'd have to take another look at that one to know exactly what happens. But either way, Grig's able to get the Smite. They're able to get Baron, and now they're ready to start trading back on some of these turrets.
Blaze Olive pushing forward, saying if you want to get in the taunt ring, fine with me. Nobody wants in though. Clutch Gaming knows how scary it is. They backed off, but they still come back onto the map with 5 vision wards, looking to lay those back out. And if TSM can deny some more objectives, this would be fantastic. 4 possible, and even maybe a 5th. They keep slaughtering them as soon as they come up. We'll see dragons start falling down. It looks like this one will go to TSM. Great to stop that next Mountain Drake from going over.
Yep. Nice overall, and it is hard for Clutch Gaming's comp to kind of play from this position. They don't have too much engage. They basically have a Gnar and then these teleports by Vulcan, which they've been pretty aggressive with. This is the 3rd time they're looking for a Blaze Olive.
3v1, Fate's Call, Absolute Zero as a Blaze Olive the hero. He goes gold, acquired taste is there, he'll be devoured up. No! They don't devour him up. They decide to let him walk for a second. Think they have the kill on the Rend, but they do not. And the play does not follow through. You can see Sun just on the edge ready to go over the wall and take the fight, and that's what they can see with that final ward there. So they hold off. But still, these Abyssal Voyages are actually pretty interesting. Eclipse and Vulcan are going pretty hard together.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
They're trying to find these pickoffs. I mean, it's one of the few things their comp can do. If they just try and jump in for a straight 5v5, that's very dangerous to do. So they're trying to find them, but TSM reacts well, and now it's TSM's chance for a pickoff.
The decision, but Mayonar is the timing there. He has to flash away, knows Grig would have the damage, but wants to taunt it in for Sun. Just misses the Emperor's Divide. Brandini says, excuse me, I'll try to walk out of this one. Turret goes down. There will not be enough passive healing from Brandini. They do get the turret, as we said, though. That's map pressure, but what can TSM do with that? It seems like they get a bit, or it's safe to say both teams are getting a bit, but they're not pushing that in either direction.
Exactly, and given that they have the Baron buff, you want to see a little bit cleaner play out of TSM Academy. Trading back and forth is not ideal. They got the mid lane turret, and then they were a little sloppy with their recalls. You have a Blaze Olive getting caught up on the top side, brute forcing a 2-man play on the bot side when the rest of your team isn't in a position to collapse, so Clutch Gaming gets down there and trades to go back. Not super clean play on the side of TSM Academy, and with how close the gold is, the kind of objective advantage that Clutch Gaming has, they did find that one Mountain Dragon for themselves on TSM side, but if you're not careful, in another couple minutes, Baron will be back up, and you'll be in a very similar position as you were a couple minutes ago.
I think we're towards the top side. Clutch Gaming keeping their vision there. Definitely telling of what this team wants to do, where they want to move. So always looking for that. It seems like Shady's going to do what he can to deny some of his vision now. 2K gold lead in favor of TSM Academy as we see a Cloud Drake coming up next. We also saw just how little they did by taking that Baron. It's not because they couldn't. It's because they were a little too far behind for the moment. Didn't want to give Clutch Gaming the pressure back from a fight that they would have taken under a turret. So now, next Baron, probably do a lot of big things for TSM, along with stopping Clutch Gaming.
It's going to be fun to watch how these two teams actually team fight. They're so different.
Yeah.
TSM Academy has a monster front line that wants to kind of go in and blow up a target right away. And despite having a Kog'Maw who generally wants prolonged team fights, they do not want that against a Nunu, Azir, Kalista, who keep getting those auto attacks off. Nice flash by Moon.
It was like free read. Got that ESP.
Felt that headbutt coming a mile away.
Gets out. Doesn't matter too much for him. Can still catch the Nunu, but he's pretty tanky, so he should be able to get himself out of a scary situation. This does mean Clutch Gaming will have to play a little bit safer, and that might mean this turret. The wave's a bit far off. Heck of a lot of vision here for TSM Academy to be fighting in Clutch Gaming's jungle, though they have been beautifully denying as much vision as they can, because Clutch has just been putting it all back out every time they can.
Yeah, TSM Academy have such great vision control, and their side waves are building up to collapse onto these. It's unfortunate Baron buff's not up, because that would be the ideal time for this to happen, but they can still potentially look for pickoffs in the jungle if they try and see someone rotating up to catch that top side wave with how good their vision is there. You see Rengar kind of shadowing up there, looking for anyone, but they're taking the safe way around. Kalista's gonna run all the way through the safe side to get up to this wave.
Can't count them. I think there's wards on top of wards. There they are. Devoured up. Moon is safe. Had to be a little more careful. As we said, that flash was down, but this is great for TSM. They're finding little things to kind of peel off with Clutch Gaming. If they get another flash, that's huge. If they get an ult, that's even bigger. If they can do without that in Baron.
Yeah, it's nice to get the flash out of the Nunu, not necessarily for team fighting, but like you said, for that Baron situation where that's so scary that he's just going to flash over the wall and steal that at any moment. So that's out of the picture for a little bit, but you still are probably not going to force a Baron 5v5, so not the most...
Some do, Mark.
That's true.
Some like to roll the dice.
I hope they do not.
I'd love it.
It'd be
I'd
fun.
always think it.
I'll admit it'd be fun. But here you see Clutch Gaming trying to fight for mid control, get that wave pushed in so that they have some time to go in here and clear out these wards. I like that they're kind of sweeping their own jungle first. They want to make sure that there's no teleport flanks to come in. It's the kind of thing that sometimes people look over that aspect. They sweep the river, they sweep the enemy jungle so that they might feel scared walking in. But at the same time, if the enemy team has wards even further behind you there, then they can just teleport flank you for free. So I like that they tried to at least clear out some of their jungle. Not particularly effective as there's still plenty there.
So many. Do we have enough sweepers is what they're saying. There's some good damage. I was just saying, TSM's trying to chunk out Clutch Gaming. Clutch Gaming is getting a few good hits themselves. Macrobo gnawing out. They say we actually want to use this timer, and we will force them into a fight for now. Sun over the wall, not taking too much damage. Max Strobo, not the worst person to be last, but he does take a good bit of Baron hits. Brandine is going to be doing that now as they go forward to Blaze. Olive gets a 5-man taunt as he brings down the stopwatch to save himself a kill. Coming in for Greg there, and Clutch Gaming has to back off just to reassess the fight.
I was super close on the side of Clutch Gaming. They were almost able to disengage some of those situations, but just too many multi-man CC chains coming in. Starting off with the Alistair Pulverize, getting 3 or 4 members, followed up by basically the 5-man Galio taunt. And Clutch Gaming tried to disengage. They had the Azir ult, they had the Nunu ults going, but it wasn't enough. And now they're onto the Baron.
That flash could be up in time for Nunu, and they may just hang on the other side and let this fight go. Feeling like they have power over Eclipse being down. Moon could be ready to redeem himself the second time around. The flash over the wall. 4,000 HP on the Baron, 8-6. Oh, he goes over so early, and now he can just be focused. What does he decide to do here? He's saying, team, I need you. Can he get the power over the wall if he needs? He's just gonna hang out for now, 2,500. Everybody is just dancing. Baron is saying, what is happening? And that's, oh, he does get chomped up over the wall. He almost goes down. Now they're gonna spit him out in the right spot. It's back, it's Griggs again. Baron goes to TSM Academy after that dance contest.
That was dicey. Shady gets way too aggressive trying to zone Moon away again this time, but he forgets, hey, it's not just him and Moon, it's him and Moon and Sun and Vulcan, so
do it again.
We'll get back to get there in a second, I'm sure. Starting things off with this Baron force, a little ambitious by Clutch, forcing them in, and it starts out, like we said, that big 4-man knockup. Everyone's forced to get out from the Galio ult, and then as they're kiting through this choke point, the huge flash forward gets basically all 5 members. Woo! They try to disengage with the Azir ult, but they're already taking too much damage. Kalista gotten low, a notoriously low-range champion, so she gets popped. And that's the only kill, so it's still a bit of a difficult Baron force. Like we said, Shady went around the wall and forgot, hey, there's still 4 people alive, so he kind of died. And that somewhat worked in their favor because they were so worried about keeping Shady alive. They actually stopped damage on the Baron, so when Moon flashes in, it's like, oh, it's at 4,000. Sun spends the rest of that time trying to kind of damage Baron from over the wall to drop it low enough for Moon to go for the contest. Couldn't quite do that. They have to eat Moon out of the pit. Very, very dangerous situation for both teams.
Yeah, they get the oops advantage. Walk away. And that Mountain Drake in their favor definitely paying off.
Oh yeah.
For TSM Academy in the end. Now they make their way down mid. They're going to be able to, as we said, they get a second Baron. That one was not the stave off Clutch Gaming. This one is now used against them. They'll head down mid. Shady. It's kind of a Bash brother with Greg at the moment. They're looking to take out at least 1 member, but they're stalling just a bit. So Brandini can bring up this side wave. 16s are hitting around the board, so we're getting the level up on the ultimates. Righteous Glory for Shady. A lot of extra utility now coming in, so you got to be prepared for very fast fights to happen.
There's a lot of vision on TSM's bot jungle, so Brandini pushes this wave in. The team starts moving over to meet up with him.
Textbook.
Good textbook play. It's hard to push into in his ear, so just run away from him. Move to another side lane. So they get that one. Max Turbo's up in the top side trying to preemptively deal with that wave to stop TSM from being able to make the same move on the other side of the map.
3-0-1 for Raleigh. Talk a little bit about what he has been able to do, or where he's kind of come from. It's been a lot of places. Some of the most teams he has been on as a player. And now he can get this Kog'Maw over and over again, be a carry for the team, and get the support that he needs.
Let's get a little far forward there. Nice play by Shady. Pop that Righteous Glory, run at the turret, make people think you're going to engage to zone away a little bit so Raleigh can get some hits in.
Pump make.
Nice play by them. Gets the turret to out of third. It's going to go down though as him and Mr. Raleigh once again tag teaming up for that turret.
So that'd be a cool ability. If some champion had a passive that actually reduced it, he could like spawn a minion real quick and reduce turret armor. That sounds broken.
I mean, as long as he's not a good split pusher himself, then
That's true. That's true. If it was like an Alistar,
right.
yeah.
It's like he's not
He'd be
really
good.
damaging the turret. He needs to backdoor with another person.
Yeah. You call it Mad Cow passive. It reduces armor on turret.
You can see it.
35 minutes on the clock. 5K gold lead here for TSM as they kind of control it like their brethren. Later in the game, stronger team fighting, stronger finds, better ways to position themselves around these objectives and figure out a way to just kind of put the team at a disadvantage, sometimes without even taking the fight.
Yeah, definitely good controlled play out of TSM Academy, like you said. Very similar to the main roster. And also very similar, Mr. Rales and Sven kind of being the star
Yeah.
carries. Obviously, TSM main roster has Bjergsen as well, but Sven is not a player who is particularly lane dominant and then becomes very effective later in the game. Mr. Rawl is much the same way. He took Kog'Maw this game, focused on surviving the laning phase. Once the map starts opening up, they move around. Good rotation up to the top side, very intelligent, and then plays the team fights spectacularly well. He's been doing it all split long in Academy, hopefully drawing the attention of some of the main rosters. If anyone's struggling and has an import slot and wants an AD carry,
That's the point.
there's your guy right there.
That is the point. Blaze Olive and the team grabbing a little vision towards the top side of the map now. What do you think from Clutch Gaming's point of view at this point in the map? Do you kind of wait for TSM to get a little too ahead of themselves and go for a dive now that you're seeing GAs, or do you still kind of look for maybe an Azir, a quick hit, Moon slows someone down, and you take that guy?
It is very difficult for them. Their team comp, like I was saying, is not great at engaging. Yes, they can find pickoffs, but in a straight 5v5, a Tom Kench does not want to be jumping in there with a Gnar or something. So they have to kind of kite back, hope TSM overextends, use the Kalista and Azir to melt people. But TSM's been pretty on point with their engages thus far, so it's been difficult. The other option is Baron comes up again. TSM Academy is not 100% ready. You can just brute force it. At this point, given that you're on the back foot, down 6K about, you can start considering just forcing 50-50s. That should go in your favor because you have Nunu. So they need to start taking some risks unless they're just going to hope it's TSM messing up.
You don't usually think it's good to take the 50-50, but sometimes you have to.
Yep, definitely the case. And if you get it, maybe you can start pushing them in. You can see you got an Azir. He's really annoying. So they can use the Baron buff pretty effectively. It's just how do you get it at this point?
That would be pretty crazy. They don't exactly have the best Baron wave clear on the side of TSM if they don't have Raleigh in that lane. So it could be a big factor for Clutch. Yet so far away at this point. They have to do a little bit of work before they can get themselves that far up in the jungle comfortably. Pushing through, Sundisc goes down as they try to temper the lanes being pushed in over and over again. It is giving them more CS, but it's not giving them the map control. 358 for Sun. He could do damage 4-1 and 3 if they can get these fights they need. He's so far above a Blaze Olive, but for where Blaze Olive is in the match, he's doing perfect Galio things.
Yeah, exactly. Galio being a little bit behind, not a big deal.
Exactly.
Azir definitely wants to be ahead. He needs to put out a lot of damage over the course of these fights because Kalista is not a huge late game threat. Nunu's not doing too much. Gnar can be a good CC bot and maybe decent at cleanup towards the end of the fight if there's only some tanks left alive, but does not have the damage to compete with a real carry. So both these teams slightly becoming one damage threats as it's basically the Sun versus Mr. Raleigh show.
And it actually, I think it might be coming down to the Baron/Ward dance. We're going to fight over Ward or we're going to fight over Baron because nobody's gone past mid at this point. I think this is like the first time power in numbers for TSM as they do it. But for the last 5 minutes, it's been the objective's not up yet. Let's just hang out and chat.
So they send it to Nunu.
He's like, wait, no. Not yet.
Yeah, they blue trinket it, realize there's no one there. Nunu instantly turns around. This is some World War I. We're in our trench, you're in yours. Gonna stare across at each other.
Who can run into no man's land? Oh. see for a moment. They're like, nope, TSM's still on the map. I see Shady. They didn't leave. So the other team is still here.
Look at him just tracking him with the sweeper over the wall.
That's one thing I love about sweepers. It has saved a life so many times now that it does that.
Nothing scarier than an ulting Rengar, and you get the
You
sweeper
see
on
it
him.
anyways.
He's so fast, but you're just not sure quite where that red outline's going to go.
We need to update faster.
Yeah.
Give me that upgraded sweeper that gives me the 1 second retake. So here we go. Oh, that's going down real quick. Raleigh is a big boy. And that is an uncontested Baron number 3. Imagine if all these ideas of scaling Barons came into the game. They would be a big TSM, but already big enough to see what they can do to the base of Clutch Gaming.
Yeah, first 2 Barons, got them 2 inner turrets. This third one, they're really going to want to start actually pressuring some inhibs. If they don't break any inhibs, these Barons really aren't doing much, so it's just going to turn into one of those potential 60-plus minutes,
Hey,
6, 7, 8 item games.
Teams could be coming into games with goals, be like, can't win till 5 Barons.
That's much more of a practice scrim strategy, I'd hope, than a game day strat.
Agreed. On the same page. 40 minutes will hit the clock, however. Kills are quite even. Turrets are quite even as well. 4 to 5. Not too much gold to be really picked up there across the map until these inhibitors go down and whatnot. Or I should say inhibitor turrets.
You see them with Greg prepping the top wave.
Oh.
Shady caught out a little bit as he wanted to get vision control up there. Pushing in the mid and top waves at the same time. Probably going to rotate up there and grab that one. And it's nice that it's so clean and methodical, but they do need to start actually getting these inhibitor turrets down.
They can actually fight behind one. As much as we know Clutch Gaming can't initiate, it's very hard to get past an Azir, even if you are Galio.
Yeah, plenty of zone control by both teams here, so it does make it difficult to fight around these turrets.
False positive. They think they got a turret. No, they did. Top lane, Greg is able to take one down with the distraction in mid, and this is where Clutch Gaming realizes they're being worn just a little thin with the resources they have right now. They have to send Max Trobo top, but bot lane is going to be pushing in if they can get one person down there to start bringing that up.
They were able to chunk Sun out a fair amount, but did not translate to very much turret damage. The wave had already been cleared out. But looks like they're kind of going for one of these 1-3-1s. Bradini gets this wave. They have Greg on the top side, and the tanks threatening space in the mid lane, hoping Mr. Rawlins can get some shots up. But it looks like Cannon Minion's doing the most work right now.
Also tough for Sun to clear the Baron up minions, having such magic resistance. He can get it done, but definitely a few shots from TSM are allowed onto the turret each time. Raleigh is just a bit far back. They rely on the siege minions in this moment.
Triple Cannon Minion
Whoa!
destroying the turret.
Getting righteous, and the glory is to Shady. Heroic entrance as well with the Blaze Olive turrets getting taken down as Raleigh is focusing champions and objectives. Eclipse on the back line very low. Him and Max Trobo about 300 health, 600 combined. And now they are into safety. They start to kite the fight very well. Being able to look at certain priority targets makes a Blaze Olive turn. Raleigh, however, very, very healthy still. Has not been able to make it just to the front line enough. Good, interesting, and great hold.
Yeah, good force there by TSM Academy. They do lose Shady for it, but you'll definitely take a bot inhibitor for that. Mr. Raleigh's had a lot of stuff to chase through. It's one of those things where you have the ability to engage very deep with a Righteous Glory Flash, Alistair, Headbutt, Pulve, but Akogma does not follow up that well on that.
Everybody leaves you.
Yeah, so they kind of got isolated there. It was smart of Mr. Raleigh to not even bother trying to follow that too closely. He worked down the turret instead. We'll take another look at it as Shady has a lot of go buttons, and he presses all of them. Didn't actually flash, that's incorrect, he just ran there. Then they have the Galio ult coming to the top. Mr. Raleigh has Max Trobo to kind of contend with, so he's working on the turret of Max Trobo. He's going to flash out behind that Azir wall. Hard to chase through that new Azir, like you were saying. Mr. Raleigh is just always hitting closest target. But so are Eclipse and Sun, who have plenty of damage. So they're able to kill Shady, almost get a Blaze Olive West to flash out.
Oh.
And at this point, Mr. Raleigh no longer has a front line to threaten space, so he has to back out as well. Not actually able to find any kills, but I would say mission successful of getting the inhibitor at least.
Absolutely. Especially if Raleigh does get in a good position, those fights have him at max stacks on his Rage Blade immediately almost. Has so much time to auto attack before he sees someone, and then you are getting chunked out. 3-0-1 still coming out of that. And Sun doing what he can to continuously protect. Bot lane of Eclipse and Vulcan was not able to show up as much as they wanted with the Kalista and Tom Kench. And we saw a little bit of almost 2v whoever they could find assassinations with the Abyssal Voyage in mid game. So they were definitely feeling pretty confident.
Good play out of both teams, I'd say, this game, all things considered.
Yeah.
Playing to their win conditions, and it's just been about who's been able to outplay who. Good engages by TSM Academy.
We definitely have to note, with the new pickup, might have been a loss of objective control on the side of Clutch after the Dragons, but they definitely had the early game set up every time. They were controlling so much. It's like TSM kind of was like, you can have those. We'll look at the map.
Yeah.
It seemed to play on their favor.
Trying to stop a Nunu from doing early Dragons with Ballista is difficult to do. So I understand TSM losing out on that, but now they've hit that 6-item Kog'Maw, going with the Essence Reaver. If Freak is watching, I'm sure he's pretty happy about that. Wants that W uptime.
Absolutely.
And now, despite not having the Baron buff, still going for that siege around the mid lane. The turret's healed up a little bit, though. Baron cannon minions are actually one of the most powerful tools for those kind of sieges, as well as you can chunk out the front line like that. Moonwalk just slightly too far.
Holy turret damage as well coming from Raleigh as he has the Bio Arcane Barrage up, and it's practically up all the time at this point. Meganar forced out of Max Strobo as he's clearing minions as well. It's exactly what TSM wants to see at this point. Mid lane's forcing in, which pulls Eclipse over. They should be able to get the final touches on this turret.
Still have Sun trying to chunk people out, but like you said, with Eclipse having to deal with the super creeps down the bot lane, they grab that mid one. Top side also pushing in. Max Strobo's on defense duty up there, but it doesn't look like TSM actually wants to force the inhibitor down right now.
So many things for Clutch Gaming to think about right now. And they do have a little bit of breathing room to keep cleaning this stuff up. Raleigh's keeping good positioning in these fights, is making it hard for Clutch Gaming to even come back, and TSM is keeping the win condition of kind of continue to scale, know we have the stronger fight, but don't dive to find that fight. It has been very good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Blaze Olive still working on his build. At this point, we've been talking about Mr. Raleigh's being huge. Blaze Olive still has a little ways to go, has 2 control wards in that slot, but we've seen in Academy before, Galio becomes no joke in the late game at 6 items, especially if you go with a death cap or some other big damage item there as your last pickup.
Get him out of there. Shady's still got the ward spot. You're good to go. Get what you need. Everybody's got a lot of items right now, looking for ward spots only on those 2 for TSM. On to the Baron, down to 5,000. We're 1 away. This is number 4. It can end after the next one.
Oh yeah, there's a limit. You must
5th Baron.
You must get 5 Barons
It's like
before you can
5-card Charlie in Blackjack.
The scaling Baron idea is one that I'm warming up to over time.
It is funny.
Just make the cannon minions do like a billion damage.
Yeah.
Just one shot a turret.
That'd be crazy. There's like enchants, one of them turns into a small Rift Herald. Like a Scourge.
All cannon minions become Rift Heralds.
Little baby
You have
Heralds.
6 Heralds when you have double Nexus turrets, or triple double inhib down.
Little baby
Baron off.
Shellys in each lane.
Yeah, that would be something.
That's great. This is why we're not on the live design.
Absolutely not.
A 7,000, actually 8,000 gold lead as it ticks up a little bit for TSM there. And 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on this Baron. Raleigh feels comfortable in mid, has the Void Ooze to keep himself protected. And things are looking a bit better for TSM. It lost yesterday, hoping to be redeemed today with a victory here in 4.
Good little collapse there by Clutch.
Yeah.
Find the flash on Grig. And TSM Academy with this Baron having a hard time getting entrance to this base. They have Brandini up in the top lane, escorting that wave in. But they do need to keep forcing, because I mean, this gold lead is starting to become inconsequential with multiple members on both sides hitting their max items.
Keep pushing top. Looks like they're gonna go for the full fight. Righteous Glory, if he can find his target. He has the flash to get by Sun if he wants. They're gonna take down the Sun Disc first, that'll be priority. And there's a twisted advance onto 1. Can they get back to Sun, or can they get over to Eclipse? Nature's Grasp goes down, Fate's Call in and out. Whoa, Max Strobel going in by himself as they got a fight of their own on the backside with Brandini. Top laners going 4v1 on either side. Heroic entrance coming in from Blaze Olive, but he goes down almost immediately. A quick rend out and a whole lot of damage coming from Eclipse here. A turn on the fight once again. Moon getting shots from Raleigh. He turns onto Vulcan. Grey Health is ready. He doesn't decide to use it as Eclipse is still alive to clear minions. And these are incredibly scrappy fights for the top laners just kind of taking it all on themselves.
Yeah, both top laners kind of end up 1v4. Brandini, being the Maokai, a little bit better at that.
Yep.
Is able to survive long enough for a Blaze Ult to come in, but they almost baited the mid laner into dying as well. He got very low, and then a surprising flash forward by Mr. Raleigh to try and find some cleanup kills. Couldn't quite do it, but did buy enough space for him to grab the second turret down the bot lane. And now with that Baron buff still on there, working on the third inhibitor.
Looking to open it up. Moon tries to get a slow ice ball on him, but cannot get Raleigh. Looks like a few more shots. Doesn't even want to get in range for it just yet. Reaching almost 500 CS on Sun as his game goes late. And like we said, he is the main wave clear right now. This guy has to be right up in the front, which also is clearing that mana bar and making it look that much better for TSM.
You see, though, he's hurting. Drops Shady down to a third just as easy as a couple of right clicks.
Yeah,
so.
very true.
TSM, you can understand why they are playing this one a little slow when Sun is able to do that much damage to them.
Good setup, too. His play with the soldiers is one of the things that some people kind of forget in intense moments. You just got to keep the soldiers up. You're not going to be doing as much damage as you want to do. You can set up a huge base with those guys. Right now, Sun is keeping those soldiers right in front of the turret. Every clear he can get, attack speed up. And this is that Nunu coming into play as well. We saw that combination picked in champion select by Moon and Sun, and it's playing out a little bit, but can't defend everything.
You see how threatening Sun is, despite the fact that there's super creeps in the base threatening Nexus turrets. Sun by himself makes it scary for TSM to walk up, but the teleport from Brandini will force him off this turret.
Ever so slowly, we build the suspense. The last inhibitor could possibly go down. Soldiers move forward, but without Sun behind, they find a hit onto Moon. He goes down to about 25% HP as Max Strobo wants into the fight to proc his Mega Gnar. Gonna sweep the team back after he gets out of crowd control. Doesn't get a chance to even hit the ground, and they drop him out of the game. Max Strobo with 70 seconds on his timer, and it looks like they'll be looking at Nexus turrets.
They have all three down. They can continue to force around here. Eclipse and Sun still scary. Looks like they don't.
Maybe minions
Want to go do it.
Drake.
Well, so what's weird
Patience.
is
They are patient.
50 minutes into the game, Cloud Drake is still alive. Neither team decided to want to go get that one. It does look a little curious.
It is.
On the side of TSM Academy, you can maybe say we don't want to have to worry about two important neutral objectives in the late game. So you just make it so Baron's the only focus, and Clutch Gaming can't go trade out for a triple Elemental Dragon Elder.
Indeed.
So I can somewhat understand that idea, but it is a weird thing to see at the very least. Anyways, here's this force, teleport in. They're going to take this third inhibitor down. Clutch Gaming realized that we should probably fight this one, as once you lose all three inhibitors, it was nearly impossible to win the game, but there's just not quite enough threat. Shady gets chunked out very, very low. Max Strobo just steps slightly too far forward, gets Chain CC to pop, despite hitting that Mega Gnar form. And then after that, yeah, TSM just playing the objective game, focus down the inhibitors, and go back, reset. Now that you have all three down, start trying to pressure the base.
We're back.
We're back.
In the mid lane. It's gonna be damage. Sun Disc going down. I wonder how many turrets TSM has destroyed this game. Probably quite a bit. 11 actually stand on Summoner's Rift for team.
Sundisk
They're over there.
formally counted for that. Made it a very strange thing to see.
Yeah, that's true.
Right when Azir was released, they had that problem.
They have 17 turrets.
I don't think so.
Minions towards the top. Baron in 40 seconds if TSM were even to want to walk back with the amount of control they have over the base right now of Clutch Gaming Academy. Sticking together just to huddle around Mr. Raleigh right now so he can change again. He still has another form to hit. You think he's a beautiful butterfly now. There's one more level. That might be with Baron. Maybe not. Good timing on the inhibitor coming back up.
Yep, just gonna cycle these again, and then maybe go for Baron. Clutch Gaming has a really hard time walking up here to do anything about it. As you see, Moon gets dropped to about 60% HP off 2 auto attacks, I believe. So very difficult for both front lines at this point. One team has a big Kog'Maw, one team has a big Azir, and you're just a little tree or Yeti thing.
Yeah.
Hard to walk forward.
A tree Yeti?
They're on different teams.
Oh, I see. Yes. Here we are back at Baron.
There's a 5th one.
Told you.
They're ready to win the game now. Riv's win conditions.
There it is. Who would have thunk it? All right, let's see how they do it. If you go anymore, then you're milking it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely milking it. Win with the 5th. 289 even for Greg here as he CS's his life away. 524, 529 as we're getting up there in this game, looking at a possible hour as 93,000 to 86.6. Clutch Gaming is putting up the wall of their life right now against TSM Academy, or TSM Academy just doesn't want to pull the trigger. It's one of the two, and we're seeing a bit of both.
Yeah, you think they could maybe play a little bit more aggressive. Something you often see teams do with a Rengar is you treat it kind of like that old Rumble equalizer where you pop it, you hear the noise on the enemy team, you see the indicators show up, you run in circles near your Kog'Maw where you're not actually threatening to do anything, but the enemy's scared to walk up at the very least.
Oh, man.
Because there's this ulting Rengar. So I wouldn't mind to see TSM try to use a couple more of their tools in that setting, but
he's keeping Meganar on the Wolves.
And he's got that flank.
Oh, he's got Meganar. He's gonna hop in. Oh, he holds it. That was it. That was the in. Doesn't want to take it. The team didn't have full control. Also, Greg is in the alt mode. Once you saw Max Trobo, he said, well, we have something that can turn the tide of this fight as well. If you can't see me, you can't initiate. So they slow that down, and we're back to the tit for tat, the back and forth here over inhibitors.
Whoa.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I can feel that. It's about 10 shots, maybe 11 overall for Raleigh himself to take down these inhibitors if he gets a second with them. And now they have wards pushed all the way up to the base, just a few behind TSM Academy. That would be a teleport from Trobo. He was actually trying for the flank. They haven't had long to set up plays like that. And that was one instance in the last 40 minutes that they've tried.
TSM not going for the reset here, actually staying in the lanes, sending Grig back to start pushing them.
And hit back up, something to fight over.
Oh boy, you
and
got
both
that mid
lanes, so many choices.
Got that mid hit just in time for the top one to come up, and then hopefully they'll get this bottom one just in time for mid to come back up, and then maybe they can get the top one after that.
Baron in about 4 minutes. Seems applicable. Still that Elder Drake though. Pretty good point. I like that. Kind of just chilling. No reason to let Clutch Gaming get huge if they can pressure one of these objective fights that they'd love to be around. Sometimes you feel safe in your base, but sometimes you also feel trapped.
Yeah, here Mr. Rawls getting some good shots off Max. Trobo's had enough.
Locked in. Nature's Grasp doesn't allow too many to follow. Great counter attack there. Trobo very low. Still waiting for one to fall in this fight though. Brandini looks like he could be first as the soldiers just keep cutting him down. Raleigh is now forced to turn Fate's Call. Gonna get a quick safety and pressure from Balkan. He gets an acquired taste for Shady. Iron Will goes down and it will save him for now. Raleigh's slow. They must protect him. Goes down for a blaze all. Raleigh's goes down immediately. The fight Clutch has been waiting for. Shady's now down. The chase is there. And TSM is taking too long.
But they still have the map advantage. There's super creeps coming up the mid wave right now. How much can Clutch get off of this? Baron's up in 10 seconds.
It's such a repair situation now for Clutch. They're just saying, we have so many holes in the boat. The wings fell off the plane. We need to rebuild it. And that probably will take 10 minutes unless they get a wipe fight that they can run down mid. Let's see this again.
Yeah, so it starts out with Max Trovo being a little bit too far forward. And critically, we're going to see Vulcan be able to save him with the Devour over the wall here. As it looks like Max Trovo's about to go down, Vulcan snatches him up. Makes it feel like TSM is good to chase forward. Brandini gets a little bit too far in. See, he's still pretty tanky, all things considered at this point in the game, but eventually drops. And after that, Mr. Raleigh, after his front line starts dying, it's no longer safe to walk up anymore. Clutch Gaming is fine to just focus down the closest member of the team, which is Shady. That flash away, and now with the other frontline member out of the way, they try to go for this Azir sec. It looks like they might have flubbed it almost as Shady came back over the wall, but hold on, they're trying to end the game.
Whoa, inside the base. Max Trobo taken to on the backside. They have a resurrecting Grig right now. That is the Rengar down. And it looks like they are now fighting off those Baron minions from inside the base. Sorry, super minions from inside the base. Shady looking to get back. Righteous Glory is down for him as he's got an adaptive helm now inside his inventory to stay alive from these soldiers in the fight. seems to be the thing to keep yourself alive from Sun. But like you said, they are low. The chase back could always continue, and they can bring these minions right to the base while Clutch Gaming isn't ready. We'll see what they decide to do. Looks like they'll let him get ready.
Yeah, they'll get ready. It was a nice force by Clutch Gaming. They had an inner turret still in the mid lane, which is why it seemed like it was going to be difficult, as well as super creeps pushing up in the mid lane. They went against both of those and actually got the mid inhibitor turret down and the inhib, so they were able to equalize that lane. And with Baron coming up in 2 minutes, equal pressure in the mid lane. So Clutch Gaming have basically fought themselves back to an even point from here. They really don't need to be too worried about a backdoor or anything, as Nexus turrets still stand. They do have naked inhibitors in the base, but I doubt TSM is going to want to pull away too many resources to try and force those down.
That is crazy. They also don't have GP or something in the top lane to slap those down with a TP.
Yeah. Interesting to note, as we come up on the 60-minute mark, the Gathering Storm count. There's 1 on Clutch Gaming side with Azir and 2 for TSM Academy, with Mr. Raleigh and Blaze Olive both taking them.
No wonder.
Just go late. Go to 100 minutes.
Go late. Doesn't TSM take Gathering Storm too?
Yeah, the main roster had the double Gathering Storm as well.
Mm-hmm. I wonder. They might talk to each other.
I would reckon there's some communication.
Is this going to be Clutch? Oh, that's just a bait. You're like, oh, look, Nunu walked out of chunk on the left side. They are all there.
I mean, at this point, you don't necessarily need the Nunu for the Baron either. I mean, you have Azir Kalista.
Yeah.
Nunu's nice for it, but you don't necessarily need it. So they're just going to vision control around here.
They got the Sun Disc base set up halfway through. Go ahead and hide behind that. Now pushing TSM onto their own side of the map. This has been the last 30 minutes of Clutch Gaming protecting their base. Actually pretty insane to think about now that they're on TSM's side of the map with so much pressure. And their middle inhibitor has just come up for a bit more relief. Baron is going to be up in 2 seconds as both teams might throw each other into the 50-50.
Yeah, Rengar using the Vision ultimate, trying to keep an eye on everybody. But nobody is split from Clutch Gaming, so he doesn't have a nice, easy in like you would hope for.
Pink's on, Pink wards. Hit from Greg, he takes down Vulcan, wants to make that safety pod of Tom Kench. Not as good. 4-man pulverized coming in from Shady. Does the team have a follow-up? They already moved from Blaze Olive. Heroic entrance a little late. Gets another hit into us. The Emperor's Divide to push past Blaze Olive and Shady as Max Trobo tries to deny the back line of the fight. A 4-man swipe from the Mega Gnar, but they cannot find Raleigh. It has been Shady giving his life on the other side of the fight the whole time. But overall, the HP bars just are not falling. Shady's still the only one to fall.
Crazy fight there, and you see how
are people still alive?
It is. TSM Academy, like we said, only has 1 real backline member, and that's Mr. Raleigh. So despite the great engage by Shady and the follow-up by a Blaze Olive, they don't kill anyone. The Azir ultimate resets the fight, and now they can start the Baron buff.
Now they're saying we can work off the Nunu, we can work off the Ren, the teleport coming in from Max Trobo as he is healthy. He's basically giving them back the Shady that TSM does not have. Brandini and the team still want it. They say we need to wither Clutch Gaming down to prevent this Baron. Brandini somehow makes it out alive as well. And they do take down 1 more. They take down Moon, and that's huge.
But they're not done yet. Clutch,
oh my word.
They're still eyeballing that Baron.
Look at this. Max Trobo trying to keep that Mega Gnar up. The team's going to get backed out. A Blaze Olive looking to go in. His ult just came up. If somebody can get into the pit, he'll look to heroic entrance off Greg if he needs to. It looks like they're already staying in the base. Baron goes over to Clutch Gaming, the 6th of the game. And they have been trying as well when TSM got the first 5.
And like we said, right before that entire dance started, TSM Academy, their inhibitor was still down. Clutch Gaming came back up. So through all that prolonged fighting, the super creeps went down into that mid lane. They took 1 Nexus turret on their own. That's why TSM Academy had to eventually back off that constant Baron baiting that Clutch Gaming was going for. Very intelligent shot calling by them to stay around that Baron until TSM started losing objectives due to the map advantage that they had. And now Clutch Gaming have their first Baron of the game. TSM had 5 in a row. They broke that streak finally.
We have kind of maxed out kind of champions here across the board. It comes down to what happens with your fingers, your summoners are up, how well you're playing in activating those cooldowns. Are you more afraid right now of Sun, or are you more afraid of Mr. Raleigh?
I'm definitely more afraid of Sun, just because while TSM Academy has great engage, it is difficult for them to kill a backline member. And if
True.
they don't instantly kill Sun, he'll Azir ult, he'll push everyone off himself, he'll put out a ton of
A
damage.
little more utility.
Right, and then Mr. Raleigh, he does a ton of damage too, but he has a harder time kiting forward into that fight, whereas if Callista's alive, she can throw somebody back in. It's very difficult. Both people have 2 monster late game carries. And Ablaze Olive, like we said at this point, does a fair amount of damage, so they can blow Sun up.
true.
But it's basically, does TSM engage, kill someone instantly, and if not, Clutch Gaming is probably going to be able to win that fight.
Adaptive helms everywhere. Not usually an item you see till late game. Blaze Olive, like you said, doing damage, so they're trying to mitigate that as the Winds of War just kind of destroys the whole team in a central position. And Brandini and Shady trying to stay alive from those soldiers. Everybody's got pretty much what they can bring to the party. No more. If you wondered if you brought a jacket or you should have today, everybody brought it.
Gathering Storm, though.
Gathering, oh, that's true.
The party gets
Still get
the
more
party
party.
gets better the later it goes.
Oh, this is like real life.
Party the break of dawn or whatever.
Great.
it is.
Yeah, those things. Like it's 1999.
When did League come out?
Not then. It was still a damn good party though. 2K gold now for Clutch Gaming in the lead. Don't even have to really look at the gold factors at this point, as they play no role in what these teams need to do. You could have a 10K gold lead, it wouldn't matter much. The last fight's going to end the game. 9 turrets to 9 here, as it has been evened up. And it does not look like Clutch, or I should say it looks like Clutch is having the same kind of problem that TSM was as they're getting into the base.
Yeah, they also have a massive wave up the top side pushing down on that inhibitor, so they recall out after they get chunked out.
Boom.
It is, like we said, difficult for both these teams to push forward. Clutch Gaming likes to be in very set up positions, and then TSM Academy with the Kog'Maw are not afraid to posture a fair amount as well. So once again, those World War I battle lines showing up.
It could be Clutch is being very studious. They're going by the guidelines of a 5 Baron win.
You see, that's what TSM tried to do, and that did not work. So I'm starting to doubt this win condition now, Riv.
That's, you could study for a test and still fail it if you don't do it right. Right?
Now that I can agree with. I can definitely agree that TSM probably did not do some things right with their 5 Barons.
Indeed. At this point, you can make that assumption. 15 to 11. There's a few more kills could be picked up, and we're looking at Sun for those right now. 8, 1, and 7. Vulcan has been doing a great job all game of keeping that protect the AD carry or Sun or Moon comp, as Moon has been the focus throughout this entirety.
So there's no boots on Sun. I wonder what
boots?
his AP is at. Mr. Rawlins has 450 AD with that Gathering Storm. Just want to do a little Gathering Storm check-in. Hopefully we get a look at Sun's AP values in a second.
You keep looking. I will.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm very bad at multitasking.
That Cloud Drake's still up. That's something. That is something. What was the latest Drake, actually?
This has to be the latest Drake in a game,
You
right?
think so?
Like,
Ever? Maybe?
ever? Like, I would want a staff for that, but I would feel
Probably.
pretty confident 66-minute Cloud Dragon is like, how am I still alive?
They really don't like me.
No, he's a static. He should be dead.
He's just sleeping. Shh. He's so tired. Dude, active waiting is one of the most tiring things, so I can agree.
He's sleeping.
Yeah, I know. You're like waiting
He's
for
got
a
the right
cast
idea
like
for this
5
game.
games.
He's like,
You're
let me know.
It's all right. Brandini and Shady will join him soon in their slumber party suits. And he's going. Oh, he's gonna go ward. I was about to say Shady going top, push in this wave. Let's see. I'm starting to go loony.
He's prepping
He's
the
going ward,
wraparound.
yep.
He's on Mission Impossible, behind enemy lines, and he's off the teleport now onto Exhaust Flash.
Good call. I was wondering when he was gonna switch, and then I forgot to check.
It's been a long time. It's interesting to go for the exhaust. It doesn't feel like there's a great target to exhaust.
So you really have to reach to get the stun or something.
I mean, he has been getting onto the backline with his flash engages, but
Not a liar.
feels like a tough game. Big, beefy front lines. Carries that have a hard time running forward.
Yeah.
Means it's a long game.
Also, you see, I think we always get this in a Rengar game as well, before, because Rengars can just ult, and you're like, well, we were going to do something, but we don't know where he's going. So even if you feel pressured on the Rengar side, TSM can just be like quick ult.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though he hasn't been super effective with leading carries at this point, if
you gotta worry a little bit.
Kalista's ever alone and Grig finds an angle on him, that champ can get deleted instantly. Now, neither team's even at each other's gates anymore. They are just strictly in the middle of the map.
An objective not up. Dragon doesn't count anymore. It's not, the bottom side of the map doesn't count unless you're in the lane.
I don't know why Clutch just doesn't get it.
That's a really good point. Like, you could Azir that thing in 2 seconds, then have an objective you actually want to fight over, and could be huge, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a very good point.
I understood it from TSM's perspective when the game was closer a while ago, and it was like, all right, you know, we're winning the game. We don't need this. We should be able to close it out without it. They have Nunu. We don't want them cheesing the Elder Dragon later, so let's just leave it up. But at this point, you think both teams probably want neutral objectives. Here we go. Baron time.
Oh, baby. He did just ult, just so they can clear the wards.
I mean, he should be ulting relatively often at this point
sure.
in the game. You get vision from it, scares the enemy team, buys space for Kog'Maw to soul this Baron down.
Oh my god, it's so healthy.
A lot of health bars.
8,400. Nature's Grasp looking to give out some hearts. Who wants one? Max Strobo almost on the Nard bar. I gotta give credit to the kiting in these fights, however. Not wanting to fight is their specialty at this point. Brandini going down just about 90% HP, and he will heal back up almost immediately.
Yeah. I think Warmog's definitely a good purchase for tanks here. Max Strobo gonna heal back up to full right away.
Moon starts it.
Yeah, why not?
Piss off Baron.
Yeah. Stupid purple worm.
Oh, where are they going?
They're going
they're going for the inhib. They gave him the okie doke. A Blaze Olive is
I don't know if
actually
they want that.
already on the run down here. We saw this not be very good in a play yesterday. The team tried to force it down mid. If you allow the team to push you into their base, that doesn't give you an exit. But Clutch Gaming is able to walk around, and they need to get home.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of creeps going into their base right now. They have a huge wave in the top and bot side. TSM is able to wave clear evenly at mid.
Oh man, they're going for broke on this one, Mark. They need to clean those waves.
Yes, this is a very precarious situation. I think it's more important to protect your inhibs than the Baron. We've seen that TSM hasn't done anything with the Baron for a while, and it looks like they're going to make the similar decision, but too late. They lose their top inhib for nothing. They're going to lose the Baron as well. Bot inhib starting to get dropped pretty quickly. These minions actually take it down pretty quickly at this point in the game.
Wow.
We talk about gathering, Storm scaling infinitely. Minions actually scale infinitely as well.
Clutch Gaming letting the sideways go to the wayside, if you will. Now they have to clean it up. That's TSM setting it up as much as they can and gathering, as you said, getting real big. What's that? Ablaze and Raleigh?
Yeah, 850 AP on a Blaze Olive right now.
Woo!
So quite a high number. I wonder if he was been rearranging his inventory.
926.
Yeah, I think
He's
he actually
got
had
a elixir now.
Yeah, I think a Blaze Olive actually, or excuse me, Sun.
Oh,
Sun was the one who was at 850. Yeah, 815 right now. There's 1,000. When he gets that new blood boil buff on him.
jeez. So that's what they'll be keeping that. We'll definitely see Moon and Sun next to each other. No pun intended.
Eesh. You can understand why it's tough to play a tank in this game against 1,000 AP. One shot YouTube highlight video Azir.
This rots.
I like this 4-1 setup. A Blaze Olive can ult in at any point. Brandini has swapped over to an exhaust as well.
Yeah.
3 exhausts in the game on the side of TSM Academy. Try and just keep throwing those at the members of Clutch when they engage. Not a bad strat at all. Here we see this zoning ultimate once again from today. We'll see if it pulls the trigger on anything.
All right, they got 3 waves crashing in as well. Nice and full coming in from each lane, even after this fight. Where's the sweep in? Every time Max Strobo gets in, he can't get too much of a hit out. He does find Raleigh that time just against the turret structure, but it's not going to be enough. Max Strobo gets deleted, and the rest of the team has to kind of file back to a defensive form. Soldiers forward, however, they're going to knock back Brandini. Twisted Advance was nice to the back line, but nobody can follow up from Clutch Gaming on these members that are going forward from TSM, and TSM looks like they're ready to close out the game.
Yep, off the back of the minion pressure, TSM Academy get all 3 inhibitors down, pressure in, using their 6th Baron of the game. Riv, you just miscounted by 1. The 6th Baron win can be finally coming up big
true.
for TSM Academy.
Flash them if you got them at the end. TSM come up with the win, and they will take down Clutch Gaming in a very long 74+ minute game.
That was a game, Riv. I don't remember what happened earlier. I had a lot of points in my head I was ready to talk about. They're all out. They're all out there now. It's been filled with Baron buffs.
Absolutely. We'll just say I still have my nails after that one. We will be taking a look at the last fight in that game in just a second. But what a back and forth. The indecision from both teams. And then finally, okay, this is it.
Yeah, just a big mistake with the side waves. Put Clutch Gaming in this tough position. Shady does a good job zoning. It plays all the same way. They're just buying time for Mr. Rawless to be able to focus down Max Strobo. Eventually, they pop him off. And then there's a bit of a miscommunication here. As Brandini re-engages onto Sun, he actually gets eaten up as the ult comes through as well. So Sun is not able to drop any DPS on Brandini or anyone else chasing through. That buys enough time for TSM Academy to find an extra kill or two. And then at this point, because of the situation with the inhibitors, there's just too many minions. The Baron buffs coming in. They're able to finally close out on this Nexus. Eventually. There we go.
And then it goes down. So TSM coming off a loss yesterday with the CLG matchup, able to find a win today, but I don't think in the structure that they wanted, maybe a little too much respect for what the Nunu did early game, and they didn't kind of want to activate too much, but he did throw Grig back on the Rengar, so that'll always slow things down.
Yeah, I think the first 25 minutes of the game overall for TSM were well played. They respected the power that was down the bot side with the Nunu Callista. They sacked some objectives. They found some kills to get their leads.
Yeah.
And then with their extra unsealed spellbooks and their advantages with the teleport cooldowns, they were able to find some pickoffs around vision control, start getting those Baron buffs, but they were just so slow with using them. The first 3 Baron buffs didn't even crack an inhibitor.
Right.
So it was clear even from the very get-go that they were not really putting the pedal to the metal.
We'll have to see. Longest win Drake in a game, a lot of Barons. I'm sure there's been more, though.
It didn't die, did it?
Oh, the Cloud Drake didn't die.
Still there.
We'll have to check
He's
that
still
out.
there.
We'll check it for you. We're headed for a break right now, but when we come back, Cloud9 Academy takes on Team Liquid and possibly the Cloud Drake. We're watching, and you're watching, the